Imagine sitting down for a quiet hotel breakfast with your child, only to have one of the most famous and controversial security figures in the world tower over your table to scold an 11-year-old for the crime of smiling. This isn't a hypothetical scenario or a scene from a thriller. It is the reality that has turned the pop world upside down over the last few days. We've seen plenty of fan-celebrity friction lately, but the Chappell Roan hotel fiasco just took a turn that nobody saw coming. We aren't just talking about a grumpy bodyguard anymore. We are talking about a man whose career was nearly ended by one of the biggest celebrity robberies in history, now finding himself at the center of a PR nightmare involving a crying child and a rising superstar. The facts that have emerged since last weekend are both specific and startling. While staying at a luxury hotel in Brazil for Lollapalooza, 11-year-old Ada Law, the daughter of Jude Law, spotted Chappell Roan. According to her mother, Catherine Harding, the girl didn't even approach the singer. She didn't ask for a photo. She didn't even speak. She simply smiled as she walked past Roan's table. Minutes later, a massive security guard allegedly approached their table and began berating them in an aggressive tone, accusing the child of disrespect and threatening to file a formal complaint with the hotel. The fallout was immediate. Ada was left in tears. Her mother was rightfully furious, and the internet immediately pointed the finger at Chappell Roan, assuming she had sicked her muscle on a little girl. But the story shifted dramatically when the identity of that guard was revealed. This wasn't some local Brazilian contractor. It was Pascal Duvier. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he was the man responsible for Kim Kardashian's safety when she was robbed at gunpoint in Paris back in 2016. The fact that a figure with such a heavy, high-stakes professional history was the one intimidating a child at a breakfast table sent shockwaves through the community. Chappell Roan was quick to jump on camera, looking visibly stressed, to tell her side. She insisted she never even saw the mother and daughter, never ordered an intervention, and most importantly, that Pascal Duvier does not work for her. This is where the viral debate really kicks into high gear. Within the last 72 hours, Duvier himself issued a statement that reads like a masterclass in professional damage control. He took full responsibility for the interaction, claiming he was at the hotel protecting a completely different, unnamed client. He says he made a judgment call based on heightened security risks and information he'd gathered at the hotel over previous days. He basically fell on his sword to clear Chappell's name, but the public isn't exactly lining up to hand him a Bodyguard of the Year trophy. The social media reaction has been a fascinating split. On one side, you have Chappell Roan fans, the Pink Pony Club, who are relieved. For them, this proves Chappell isn't the diva the media wants her to be. They see her as a victim of a massive misunderstanding where a rogue security guard from another camp overstepped his bounds. But on the other side, there is a deep skepticism. Critics are sharing viral clips of the incident's aftermath and questioning the logistics. They're asking, if he wasn't working for her, why was he hovering near her table? Why did he feel the need to protect a celebrity who wasn't his client? This situation escalated so quickly because it hits on a very raw nerve in 2026, the boundary discourse. Chappell Roan has been incredibly vocal, some would say aggressively so, about her need for privacy and her distaste for creepy fan behavior. Because she has set such hard lines in the past, the public was primed to believe she would have a zero-tolerance policy that extended to a kid smiling at her. When you build a reputation for being fiercely protective of your space, people will naturally assume the worst when that space is protected by a 6 feet 4 inches professional. What this says about influencer and celebrity culture right now is pretty grim. We've reached a point where protection has become so militarized that an 11-year-old's smile is viewed as a security risk. Pascal Duvier's involvement adds a layer of dark past intrigue that makes the whole thing feel more like a Hollywood script than a real-life encounter. His history with the Kardashian robbery clearly colors his perspective. He's a man who has seen what happens when security fails at the highest level. But applying that Paris heist level of intensity to a family breakfast is, to put it lightly, a massive lapse in judgment. For Chappell Roan, the reputation stakes are massive. She is in that make-or-break phase of superstardom where every interaction is scrutinized. While she has been cleared by Duvier's own admission, the vibe of the incident sticks. In the world of PR, the truth often matters less than the first impression, and the first impression here was Chappell Roan's security made Jude Law's daughter cry. Even though it's been proven that he wasn't her security, she is still the face associated with the headline. The original commentary coming out of this highlights a weird reality of modern fame, the third-party liability. Celebrities are now being held accountable not just for their own actions or the actions of their staff, but for the actions of anyone in their general vicinity who looks like they might be on the payroll. It's a level of scrutiny that is almost impossible to manage. If a guard for a tech mogul or another artist decides to help out by clear the area around a pop star, the pop star takes the heat. As for the confirmed details versus the online theories, we know for a fact that Duvir spoke to the family. We know for a fact he says he wasn't with Chappell. The theory that is currently catching fire, however, is that Duvir might have been unofficially assisting, or that there is a deeper connection between the two camps that hasn't been disclosed. People find it hard to believe that a guard of his caliber would act so decisively for someone who wasn't paying his invoice. The pacing of this drama has been frantic, shifting from cancel Chappell to who is Pascal Duvir in less than 48 hours. It leaves us with a massive industry question that goes beyond just one hotel in Brazil. As stars become more terrified of their fans, and fans become more entitled to moments with their idols, where does the middle ground exist? If a smile is a threat, then the Pink Pony Club is going to be a very lonely place. Whether Catherine Harding and Georgino accept this rogue guard explanation remains to be seen. They've already stated the tickets to see Chappell were a birthday gift that has now been ruined, and they didn't even attend the show. This isn't just a PR hiccup, it's a core fan memory turned into a nightmare. We're likely waiting on one more response, either from the unnamed other client Duvir was supposedly protecting, or a more formal legal follow-up from the Law family. Until then, the industry is left wondering if security has finally become the biggest threat to a celebrity's image.